it's so check. And now, of course, we're into our Lego Prime Minister. The people have spoken. And they've said with one voice, yes, that is our least worst option. But we will govern as we campaigned, tediously, stodgily, setting out a vision for the country in the style of a man explaining to a doctor the symptoms of his ongoing constipation. I have laid it on the line to Donald Trump. I made it clear, in no uncertain terms. I have said to him, do whatever you like, and I'm sorry I disturbed you. I know he's disappointed not to get the Nobel Peace Prize, but we in Britain can help him. I said, would you like to win Wimbledon? Just the mixed doubles, let's not get carried away. You and Melania could enter the mixed up, but it would mean you'd have to spend more than an hour in the same place. But it's just not not charisma, is it? It's not the charisma. I mean, if Keir Starmer were Robbie Williams, he'd be singing, let me manage your expectations. Great speeches of our time with Keir Starmer. Can we do it? Probably not. Ask not what your country can do for you, for fear of disappointment. When you wish upon a Starmer, makes no difference who you arm. Everything your heart desires will be fully costed and then taken into consideration in a tough spending round. Liz Truss crashed the economy, and like a computer, when the economy crashes, you have to switch it off and wait and switch it back on again. We've done the first of those things. Honestly, and I mean, the Queen, God bless her, our dear late departed Queen, she saw this coming, didn't she? She absolutely saw. Her timing was perfect. She'd been on Strictly. Oh, Your Majesty, I have to say your timing was so perfect, my darling. It was absolutely perfect, my darling. Because she had 15 prime ministers, right? Started off with Winston Churchill, and then in walks Liz Truss. And the Queen goes, oh, for fuck's sake. They are taking the piss now. There we are. But God bless her, the last thing she did was she got Boris Johnson to travel 500 miles up to Scotland to get the sack. Do you remember that? So instead of standing outside Downing Street saying, oh, I've just been from there, over to there to tender my resignation, he was left on a station platform in Aberdeen with a bunch of Scots shouting, away you go, you fat bastard. It's such we're all of a certain age, aren't we? We can remember different. Can we remember the Labour cabinet of 19th century? For 10 years, John Prescott, for 10 years, we had a deputy prime minister who looked like a National Express coach driver. That's what you want, isn't it? It's got either that or Les Dawson. I went to see the doctor the other day. I said, doctor, I've got a steering wheel stuck on the end of my knob and it's driving me nuts. So I'm in the chemist. I said, can I get some Viagra? They said, yes. I said, can I get it over the counter? They said, it depends how many you take. So a bloke goes into a bookshop. He says, have you got that new self-help book for men with very small dicks? And the lady says, oh, I don't think it's in yet. He says, that's the one. I miss that. I miss that. You know, all these characters you had like David Blunkett. I mean, amazing. You know, he had extraordinary, very brave man, but he had a temper. David Blunkett, didn't he? Don't pat the dog. He'll have your fucking head off. I have today launched daft legislation. Sorry, I'll say that again. I've today launched draft legislation. Yeah, and you had William Hague. You had. I was the foreign secretary under David Cameron, a prime minister who thought that Somalia was a wine waiter. We had Robin Cook. I stand in the dispatch box all day long, hopping and bopping and singing my song. I speak my mind. I don't sit on the fence. I'm the only intellectual on the Labour front bench, Cocky Robin. Diddly-doo. We had Gordon Brown. Of course, I was injured in a rugby game, which meant I lost the sight in one eye, so I have no parallax. I can't judge distance. I knew we were in the shit. I just couldn't see how deep. So You know, what, I mean, what's a bloke to do? Anyway, so when I started out doing sports commentators. The worst advice I ever got, by the way, being an impressionist, was I was doing a Royal Variety show, very nervous, and I was pacing around backstage, and somebody came up and said, "Are you nervous, Rory?" I said, "Yeah, I'm really nervous." He said, "Don't worry, just go out there and be yourself." That's really going to work. Great advice for an impressionist, isn't it? Because the whole point, isn't it? You can be anyone you like. You can say anything. You can make these people say anything. Who's the greatest national treasure we've got? It's this one, isn't it? It's incredible, isn't it? When you consider that we share 98% of our DNA with Piers Morgan. We all love him. I mean, I'd love to see the outtakes. It'd be like Mock the Week. Okay, so it's time for things they wouldn't say, things they never say, or things we'd like to see. Okay, scenes we'd like to see. Okay, scenes we'd like to see. Dara O'Brien goes to the dentist. Okay, open wide. Okay, so scenes we'd like to see. David Attenborough's outtakes. Our cameras have now reached the very bottom of the ocean. In hindsight, we should have tied them more securely to the boat. After 3 days filming this extraordinary stick insect, we discover it is, in fact, a stick. Things I never say. Alan Bennett. Oh, don't forget to follow me on TikTok. Things they never say. Jonathan Ross. So my guests on the show tonight are Rachel Wiley, Wamesh Wanganathan, and Ryan Reynolds. Who the fuck wrote this? Things they never say. Jeffrey Boycott. Yorkshire. Absolute shithole. Things they never say. Jeffrey Boycott. You know, I think these young lads could teach me a thing or two. Scenes we'd like to see. Melvyn Bragg's In Our Time. The most unlikely panelists on Melvyn Bragg's In Our Time. Hello, today we'll be talking about the Battle of Thermopylae for ATBC, when a rearguard action by the Spartan troops led by Leonidas saw off the advance of the Persian king Xerxes in the most dramatic battle in the Greco-Persian Wars. That's the Battle of Thermopylae then, with Ryland Clark, Holly Willoughby, and Big Nasty. Things they never say. Julian Clary. Well, what a delight to be presenting my first programme as the new host of Top Gear. Things they never say. George Galloway. But enough about me. Things they never say. Nick Robinson. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's the sound of my own voice. Oh, Nick Robinson. I know. Oh, dear. Welcome to Jerusalem, a city, a town, a region, where people live in the hope, the belief, the expectation that things might, whisper it quietly, start to get just a little bit better. Oh, fuck off. Wait, people who could, who should, I'll pick a word and go with it. Fuck's sake, oh dear. Where else were we? Things I never say. Eamon Holmes. Well, welcome. You're watching GB News, so you are. What's that about, GB News? It's not great. It's not news. It's owned by a consortium in Dubai. They said, no, GB stands for grumpy bastard, and that's why we hired you, so it is. So I started off doing sports commentators. That's what I started off doing, like rugby commentators like Bill McLaren. There's the ball from Robertson to Rutherford, Rutherford to Rennick, to someone else with an R at the beginning of their name that I can roll. And there goes the referee's whistle for no side. It's the end of the match, and they'll be dancing in the streets of Drumnadrochit tonight, I tell you. And the cricket, Richie Beno. Yes, good morning, everyone. And there's Glenn McGrath out for one, just 99 runs short of what would have been a remarkable Test match century. But I'm aware it's nearly interval time, so I will finish this little segment of the show by one of my favourites was Peter O'Sullivan. You know Peter O'Sullivan, the horse racing commentator. And I sort of got to know him towards the end of his life. He had a charity lunch every year, which Jilly Cooper used to always go to, and that was we had a memorial service earlier today. And he always would. I get phone calls from in April saying, "Hello, Rory, could you come and do my lunch in November? It would be great." So, oh yeah, okay, I'll do it. The next year he rang up, "Hello, Rory, it's Peter O'Sullivan. Would you do my lunch?" Yes, okay. The next year, "Hello, Rory, it's Peter O'Sullivan. Could you?" And then he died, and I thought, I'm going to miss those phone calls. And about 2 weeks after he died, his best friend Mike Dillon rang and said, Peter asked if you'd do a few words at his memorial service. So there we go. So I kind of thought, I'll bring him back. And what if we were to commentate on the last 18 months of this government, which we are so much enjoying? Will you join us now for the Labour government novice stakes? For complete novices run over 5 years with the going bad to worse. They're ready to go. They're under starters' orders. They're under Starmer's orders. They're ready to go, and they're off. And first to show is Rachel Reeves in the blinker straight out of the stalls with winter fuel payments and employers' national insurance and farmers' IHT. And all three come a cropper at the first fence as tough choices and previous government and £22 billion black hole take up the running. And on the outside, it's David Lammy, the new Foreign Secretary, trying to keep up with Donald Trump, and Keir Starmer with the brown nose, coming in with the length of the American president. Over the fence, and Donald Trump over there clear with Nigel Farage tucked right in behind. And out on the left, it's Angela Rayner, the chestnut with the flash, as they come now towards the third. Over the third, and the grey has fallen. Sue Gray, the early pacemaker to Keir Starmer, struggling to make the trip, are now out of the race altogether. And now further back, Rishi Sunak has pulled up. We've got the four Tory contenders: Tom Top Hat, Robert Generic Tory, James cleverly avoiding the blame for anything else that happened in the last 5 years, and Kemi Badenoch as a minister. God knows what she'd be like as a leader. Over that one on the right now for reform, we've got Richard Tice, owned and trained by Nigel Farage and ridden by Isabel Oakeshott. He's on the stand side with Farage on the far side and Lee Anderson on the mad side. And now coming up to challenge Nigel Farage for reform, it's Rupert Lowe, heavily backed by Elon Musk, and he's sticking his neck out, but Farage has the whip out, and Rupert Lowe is brought down by a combination of party discipline and under the bus and shut the fuck up. And now on the left, two more fallers as Louise Haig is disqualified, and Tulip Sadiq has been brought down by the Bangladeshi government and Sheikh Hasini. And now Keir Starmer's done a U-turn. He's heading back now down the track towards winter fuel payment. And Rachel Reeves has done a U-turn. There's another U-turn and another U-turn and another U-turn. And up the left is Andy Burnham. And out on the right, we've got Robert Jenrick and Suella Braverman as they're coming now towards the line. As they come towards the line, it's waiting lists and net migration and cost of living crisis and housing crisis and university funding and welfare cuts and defence spending and doctor strikes. And as they come to the line, it's Putin the winner, with Farage the runner-up, and the rest of us heading to the bar to drown our sorrows. Thank you very much indeed.